Hello and welcome to the Autumn Leaves Stamping Techniques card class. I'm Cheryl and I'll be teaching this class. Let's go take a look at what we're going to be covering. So these are all the cards that we're going to be creating in this class. There are a lot of different cards that we're going to be doing. We're going to cover 6 different techniques, but we're not going to limit it to that. We're also going to do spin-offs of each technique. Now, because I'm doing a bunch of different techniques, rather than having all sorts of different dies and all sorts of different stamps for each and every single technique, I kept it simple that way. I'm using the same stamps for the whole class. No, I haven't cleaned them off, but I'm using some leaf stamps that we'll be doing all the different techniques for. And then I just put thanks die on the bottom of each card just because it's fall, Thanksgiving. I just thought it was a good blend. And this way we can really concentrate on the different techniques and how they are done without needing all new stamps for each and every one. Now, I'm using leaf stamps. You can absolutely change up the stamps. This will work for many different images. Some will work better than others. So I encourage you to experiment with what you have just to play around with the different techniques and see what you come up with. Sometimes things don't necessarily work out, but you come up with something really, really cool that you learn something that you didn't know before. So the very first technique that we're going to be doing is just very simple stamping, but we're going to be doing it with multiple colors. And then I'm going to show you that in 2 different ink choices so that we can do a light background and a dark background. From there, we're going to move on to embossing and emboss resist and create some cards this way. So I've got some metallic papers and metallic embossing, and I've also got some glaze, which is a clear embossing. Then we are going to work on creating some backgrounds with some color sprays, some color mica sprays, I should say. Those have some shimmer to them and they're absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to show you how to do it with colored mica sprays, and then I'm also going to show you a way to do it if you don't happen to have the colored mica sprays, because they are a limited edition item, but there is a way to get a very similar look. Then we're going to use some Magicals powder. They're a pigment powder that reacts with water and creates some beautiful backgrounds. And I'm going to show you how to create 2 different versions of cards with those backgrounds. Now you can see there they've got some beautiful mica to them and have some lovely shimmer. The next technique we're going to do has mica powders. It's a fine mica powder that has a binding agent in them that's activated by water. So I'm going to show you how to use those. We're going to do them with the metallics and the colors, as well as the interference colors, which are a different way of using them. They just react a little bit different than the other powders. And then last but not least, we're going to use some watercolor crayons, and I'm going to show you a few different techniques with those as well. Now, this class comes with a supply list that lists the supplies used for each of the cards, as well as showing pictures of each one as well. Those supplies are linked to where you can purchase them if you choose, but you definitely don't need to use just the supplies that are used to create cards with the different techniques that are taught. So definitely have fun and explore and experiment with what you have as well. Now let's create some cards and learn these different stamping techniques.